Okay. D. I think we have it here. Guys, I'm not able to click on the screen. Did something happen?
No. I can type it.
All right.
Actually, it is running perfectly right now. The precise 32.
Okay. Create another folder, and uh, I've done a vagrant init for HashiCorp Precise 32, right?
Yeah.
Do it for Trusty. Do it for Trusty 32. HashiCorp Trusty 32, and do a vagrant up and let me know the status.
Okay.
So this Docker. Perfect. Okay. All right. So morning we have seen how to run the Docker in the background, remove previously run Docker containers, right? How to see the logs of that particular Docker container, right? We even saw how to name the container, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So now what we will do is, so we will build a web server, all right? Okay.
Okay.
Docker run.
Let's record this meeting.
Okay. You wanna try? You wanna start recording so that let me know when
Yeah.
it starts. Okay.
Yeah, I can continue.
So basically I will log in into run -ti. Okay. Ubuntu is a machine that we have, right? I'm not adding the D flag over there. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to run it into daemon as a daemon. Rather, I want to log into the shell.
Okay.
Okay. Before I do a shell, if you want to see. Okay, you see how it is working, right? If it is echo, it will echo. If we say bash, then it will enter into the bash prompt. Okay?
Yeah, and then. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Now you see the bash prompt over there. Okay. Uh, if you open a new terminal, vagrant, sudo -i docker ps. Did it type? Again the scene got okay. DOCKERPS. You can see one machine is running. The 12-digit hash value, 12, 1, 2, 3 up to here. Okay, 12-digit hash value is the same that you see over here. Okay, it is Ubuntu, bin, bash, and all of this information. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you remember, in Vagrant, before installing web server, what was the first thing that we have done?
We created a folder.
No, we updated the Vagrant. We updated the apt-get or yum, right? So I'll do
Oh,
the same thing. Before I do same thing, uh, so if you see If I enable this particular one, what would be the IP address? That's a different range. Router given. We will get that IP address. Okay, before we do it, okay, I'm gonna give this a name, okay,
Okay.
saying web server, okay.
Okay.
Now I want to do some port forwarding. The similar one, if you remember, we have done in Vagrant, okay. We will do it over here also, okay.
Okay.
-p is the option, port, okay, and it is 80:8000, something like that, okay. So the value is you give a port number, you give the host port number, and then you give the what is it called, host and guest operating system, okay, which is the Ubuntu Docker. That's what I mean, okay.
So 8000 is Ubuntu Docker system.
No, 80 is the Docker instance. Sorry, I think it is
Okay.
the opposite way. It is 80 over here, as you said, 8000 over here, okay. 8000 is the IP address of this Linux machine, not port number of this Ubuntu machine, okay.
Okay.
Is that CentOS 7? That's CentOS 7, right?
Yeah.
So if you see, where did it go? Uh, okay, netstat -antp. This command will give you the list of ports that are open in particular machine. IP link show. Okay, where is the IP address? Whoa, where is the IP address? How come I'm not seeing any IP address over here? Okay, you remember the IP address, right? It's 1.144,
Yeah.
right? So on that port number, we will select it, all right? So the screen got stuck again.
Yeah.
Nothing is happening again. Okay, I got access now. Okay, so now I'm starting a web server. I'm starting a Docker container with the name as web server on port number 80, something like this. Okay,
Okay.
so
Okay.
I'm going to hit enter. Okay, it has started over here. So the first thing that we do is apt-get update. It might take a little while there. Pretty fast enough, I believe. Alright, so now we will use the command. What is a package name to set up web server in Ubuntu?
Apt-get install.
That's a package name. By now you should tell me what is the package name, what is the configuration file, where are the log files. You should remember all of that stuff. Practice it so that you will not forget it, okay? Okay, so it is started. Okay, how do we check it? Go to web browser 192.168.1.44. 144, wait, sorry. You hit enter, you'll actually get nothing. Okay? If you remember, we've done a port forward on port number 8000, right? So you add the tail to the end of it. Shush.
8,000.
The other way around.
88.
Let me go over here and do a Docker PS. Anything on port number 8000 will go to 80. Okay. ipconfig apt-get -y install iputils. Sorry. Oh, this is, sorry, center, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So ip-utils. Okay. While this is happening, there is one more thing that I want to check. Service Apache 2 status is not running. Okay, that's the reason it is not working. We will start it like this. Okay. So now I go to browser, do a refresh over here, you see the page.
Yeah.
Make sense? So what happened was 3 steps I have done. One is update apt-get packages. Second, install Apache 2. Third, start the Apache service. Okay. So on the port number 8 base machine, the machine is again stuck. Okay, it has come. Shush. Okay, click on it. Okay, on the base machine, like on the virtual machine, CentOS virtual machine with this IP address, when I have requested port number 8000, it is being redirected to port 80 of the local machine. If you see, if you go Docker PS, you can see over here ports. If you remember previously, when I was explaining the headings under Docker PS, under ports it was empty, but now it is looking like this, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
From base machine 8000, anything that comes, it would be redirected to port 80 TCP, and you can see the web server. Okay.
Yeah.
So there is some small story here again. I exit out of this. Okay. I go back to the browser, do a refresh, and it is gone. Okay.
Yeah.
If you remember, I told you the moment you exit out of a Docker image, Docker container, the process is killed, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So what we will do is, let's do again Docker start, okay, web server. I told you this in the morning also. When you run the container for the first time, that's when you use the command docker run. But
Yeah.
the next time, okay, you just do a docker start, right? I'm hitting enter. Okay, let's do a docker ps. Okay, it's doing a port forward. Let's start. This would not work as per my knowledge. Yeah, this would not work. Okay, something is not happening. All right, the Docker container is started. Okay,
Yeah.
it is here. It says that 8000 should go into it, 80 should go into it. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. But still something is not working. So
Wait,
in order to
the server Apache.
yeah, in order to get connected to that machine, there is a command called docker exec. Okay.
Okay.
Using this command, okay. So previously we used to do docker run and we used to write the image name, but over here we are writing the container name, which is web server. Okay.
Okay.
And I do a /bin/bash. Shush. Okay. So when I do this, you can see that this is the container ID. It is already running. So when I do this, we are connecting to the same container again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So we will do what is that? Service Apache 2 status is not running. We do a start. Okay. Again, do a refresh over here. It is working. Okay. So The advantage of using a Docker exec to connect to an existing container to perform certain tasks is when you actually exit out of this, okay, the Docker process is not killed on the background.
Okay.
It still runs. Okay?
Okay.
You can just do refresh. It works. Refresh. It works. Refresh. It works. Okay?
Yeah.
Where did it go? Okay, over here. So now, let's say, okay, I'm going to stop Docker stop web server. Okay.
Okay.
So if you do Docker ps-a, so it is available web server, something like this, right?
Yeah.
After a week or 10 days, you're doing some housekeeping jobs. What is housekeeping is cleaning up old containers, something like that. Okay?
Okay.
So assuming that I'm doing that, okay, I'm just going to remove the Docker container. It is gone.
Yeah.
So it is no more available. If you look at Docker images, there are only two images, which is Ubuntu and that thing. So what all configuration I made, what all changes I made, okay,
Okay.
all of those things are gone, right? In
Yeah.
order to save that work, okay, what Docker does, what Docker gives us is, okay, you can actually commit certain changes. Alright, I'll tell you what I mean. I'm actually going back to the command where I'm doing a port forward on this thing. Docker run ti name web server port 8080 Ubuntu bin bash. Okay, I'm logging into this machine now again. You can see the hash value has changed. Again, since this is altogether a new container, I have to do an apt-get update. Okay.
Yeah.
Let it finish. I'll tell you what to do. Okay, the same command again, apt-get -y install Apache 2. Okay,
Yeah.
it's going to install Apache again. while this is happening, let me show you another command from the other terminal. You can do docker top web server.
Okay.
So from outside the container, see from the base machine, I'm seeing what is actually running from in the particular container. Okay, so it has triggered. Now if you remember previously when I run the web server, okay,
Yeah.
it did not start the Apache 2 service automatically.
Yeah.
Right? So I should actually automate it. Okay?
Okay.
Right? How do I automate it is I open the .bash rc file. Okay? Go to the complete bottom. Okay? And start writing over here service. Oh, sorry. Start. Okay? I save this. Okay, where is this file located? This file is located in the root folder. It's a hidden file. I remember I told you anything that starts with dot is a hidden folder, because if you do a simple ls, you will not see anything. It is given blank.
Yeah.
But if you do ls-a, okay, it is showing all the hidden files also, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So now what you can do is you can actually start it. Okay, you can do service Apache 2 status. Okay, is running. Okay, if I go back over here, I refresh, it is there. I will exit out of this now. Okay, you can do a docker ps search. There is nothing running over there. If you restart this page, it will say page cannot be displayed. Okay. Rather than doing all the steps again and again, what I'll do is I'll just do a docker start web server. Okay. It has started. You can go into docker ps. It has come up with this information. I'll go back over here, do a restart. It gives me the page. In order to automate it, what did I do? I just put a command in .bash rc file. Okay? Whenever you log in as bash, okay, that file will be executed and any commands included in it will be executed automatically. Okay? So now we still have a problem. So now today we've been working on web server, someone deleted it by mistake. So we again by mistake like they were doing somehow, only one person will work on Docker, right? There will be several people who will be working on Docker, and maybe the manager has assigned Raghav to do some house cleaning, so he removed all the containers which were older than 1 week or 10 days or 1 month, whichever it is. So my web server was listed over there and it is gone. So we still are at a risk that this will be deleted at some point of time, right?
Yeah.
We have done all the hard work of doing apt-get update, apt-get install, include the command in bash rc file, and all of these things, right? So if someone deletes it, this is the same simple steps that we have done, but we might do some more configurations when we get into production system and things like that, right? So if someone deletes it and production system is broke, or your 2 days or 3 days of hard work someone deleted because you did not communicate to them properly, or because of whatever XYZ reasons. So we need to make sure that this thing is always available, right?
Okay.
So how can we save this is, you see this 12-digit number, right? Take that, okay, and you actually create an image. What I mean create an image, this is actually container that is running right now. Out of a running container, okay, there are only 2 images in the machine right now, Ubuntu and Hello World. We want to create another machine over here, and another image over here. Let me show you how to do it. You'll understand when I do it. Docker commit. Commit is the word that we will use. -m stands for message, and we will say web server. Okay. -a is for author, trainer. Okay. I give this container ID over here. So what I'm doing over here, I'm committing a container. Okay. I'm giving an explanation about what this is and who am I that is committing in this. Okay. And if you remember, you have Ubuntu and latest over here. So we need to give something similar to it. Okay. You can say Ubuntu /web server. Okay. If you have to give a flag, something called as latest, we might not put as latest. This is our first version. So I'll just put it as version 1. Okay. I hit enter. It will just take a few seconds there. Okay, now it has given a huge hash value to identify that container. So if you do Docker images now, you will see your image over here, Ubuntu, web server, and version 1. The naming convention is basically Ubuntu is the operating system, web server is the application running on it, and this is version 1.
Yeah.
Okay, created 33 seconds ago. The size is 224 MB if you see this. Okay, right? So next time you want to, for example, someone has remove. Okay, let's stop web server now. Okay, I stopped web server. If you refresh over here, this is gone. Page cannot be displayed, something like that it will say. Let's go back over to here. Meanwhile, the screen is stuck again. I'm not able to click anything. Okay, I got it. Perfect. So now when you do docker ps, there is nothing running. Someone again, Raghav, was asked to do a house cleanup job for the Docker containers. So he goes and does Docker remove web server. Not exactly, he will not do especially web server. He might, if you remember, I told you a command in the morning which says docker ps -a grep 10 days, something like that.
Yeah, 2 days.
Yeah, morning we did 2 days. I'm just showing you an example here. So he might have done, he might do something like this, and your container might be one of them over there, right? And it gets vanished, washed away altogether. So as of now, in our scenario, let's just remove it like this, assuming Raghav has performed this command. Right, there is no more anything. If I do docker start web server, it says nothing CRVR. It says I don't know what you're talking about. Right? Again, we have to do the repetitive tasks, start with Ubuntu and all of these things. But this time, we've been smart enough that we just did not start a container, but we even created an image out of that container.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next time what we want to do is docker run, okay, -tid. I want to run it in the background. Okay.
Okay.
Even the port number I will do now. Okay. Which is 8000 :80, and I'll give a name, okay, saying web server 2. Okay. Now previously what we used to do Ubuntu and bin.bash, something like this, right? So we don't want to do that. Okay, we don't want to use the old Ubuntu image which doesn't have anything updated or installed. Rather, we will use our Ubuntu web server image over here, okay, which is version 1.
Yeah.
/bin/bash. If you do a docker ps, you can see it is running on the background. Bin bash is being executed. What is there under bin bash? There is a file called .bashrc. In bashrc there is something called as service apache to start, right? Port forward is already happening. This is web server 2. Let's go to the browser. Let's refresh the page. It has come up. Do you see where we are going?
Yeah.
Right, we are automating a lot of stuff over here, right?
Yeah.
And the next time even if anybody does a house cleaning job, and if they clean up my container, okay, I still have an image that has everything pre-configured and automated. Okay.
Okay.
So if you next time you want to start, you will just simply do docker start
That's
web server 2. You hit enter. You go couple of commands above docker ps. You see it is running.
Yeah.
Okay. You go back over to the browser. You refresh. It will come back. Right?
Yeah.
So this is how you actually set up a automated containers. Okay.
Yeah.
We have seen port forwarding just like in Vagrant, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So now I will do web pages. Okay. Let me install VIM. Okay, because I'm more comfortable with VIM. Okay, sorry. This is again we are in CentOS machine. VIM was already there as per my knowledge. So under web pages, I will create an index.html file. Okay. I'll -y install VIM.
Can you explain what's VI and VIM? Difference between both.
It's both are something like a notepad in Windows.
Okay.
What is Notepad and Notepad++? Notepad is one file use. Notepad++ you can manage it multiple, something like that, right?
Yeah.
There is a features difference between Notepad and Notepad++. So similarly, there are few features differences between VI and VIM. Okay.
Okay.
I'm I mean I cannot exactly tell you what they are.
Okay.
So learn VIM also, VI or VIM, whichever it is. So if you remember, we have written HTML code, simple HTML code previously also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, there is a simple one that I want to write. Okay,
Okay.
I will save this over here. Okay, so now there is already one container running on it. I'll do a docker stop web server 2. Okay. Now what I'll do is I'll go back with one of the previous commands where we did the port forwarding on web server 2. Okay, so the same command docker run as a daemon. Okay, forward port number 8000 to 80, right? And the name is web server 2. Okay,
Yeah.
something like this. If you want, let's do with blah, 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 81 over here, 8001. Okay, just for a change this name also web server 3. Okay, now what we are implementing is the shared folder concept. Okay,
Yeah.
it's the same thing with Vagrant also. So you do a -v flag. V stands for volume. Okay,
Okay.
volume. It is the other way around, I believe. Blah 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 blah. I'm just trying to remember. It's the same way or other way. Okay, let's try. Maybe if it gives any error, then we'll see. Slash root. We are in root location, right? And there is a folder that we have created, web pages. Slash web pages. Okay. We want this volume from the shared folder to be mounted on /var/www. If you remember, that was the location where we previously had HTML pages, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's hit enter. I hope it doesn't throw any error. Okay. Do a docker ps. Okay. It is running. Now it is 8001 and port 80. Okay. Now I'll go over here and say 8001. Hit enter. Give me a quick second, guys. Okay. So it is on 8000. I think we need to mount it on /var www HTML. Let's go back to this machine. Docker stop web server 3. Docker remove web server 3. Okay. Okay, now over here /var/www/html we need to write. Okay, hit enter. Okay. Docker ps container is running. Go back to the browser, refresh. You see hello world.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is how you do the shared folder concept. Okay. What is so the next time you want to start, you don't have to. Yeah, we already are running it as Docker daemon, right? Okay.
Yeah.
You can do a Docker stop web server 3. Do a Docker start web server 3. Okay, let's see this if this works, or yeah, it's working, if you can see, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So the flags that you need to remember here is the name flag is a common one.
Yeah.
The port is -p, right?
Yeah.
For the volume, the location which you want to share, and which location you want to share. It's a colon separated value. Okay.
So while While running it in any different machine, like in virtual machines that we have at the centers, so we could use the same commands or
Yeah, you need to create shared folders over there, right?
yeah.
And you can forward it over to there.
With all these steps, the same one.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
and if you want, we can do another thing, which is okay. So now if you see Docker PS, there are two containers that are running, different ones on different ports. So each container is individual. You need to understand that. If I go into 192,
Okay.
you can see, right?
Yeah.
So what I want you to understand is, it is not the same machine that is running over here. These two are like individual machines.
Yeah.
Web server 3 and web server 2 are individual machines. Because why I want you to understand that is because if it is on the same machine, you cannot have two port forwards on the same port. Here it is 80 and here it is 80, right?
Yeah.
So these two are two individual identities, entities. Okay.
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 Yeah.
So that's one part. All right. We've looked at port forwarding. We looked at snapshot management, which is like we save the images, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And all of these things. One thing I want you to remember, okay. Sorry, I did Docker PS, is it? I want to do Docker images. Hello world. This image is available on Docker Hub in internet.
Okay.
Ubuntu is an image available in Docker Hub. Okay?
Yeah.
If you can see over here, the date created was 6 months ago. It was 12 days ago. Right?
Yeah.
Where was this created? We installed Docker just 2 days back. Where did it come from? It came from Docker Hub. I believe I told you.
Yeah.
For Vagrant, it goes to HashiCorp by default. You can
Yeah.
bring up containers from Red Hat or vagrantbox.es locations. Similarly, Docker also goes to Docker Hub by default, okay, and pulls the images from there. Okay.
Yeah.
The important thing is Ubuntu Web Server version 1. Okay. This is Zubair's laptop, right?
Yeah.
If Raghav or Rakesh try on their laptop to perform this command, it will not work because Docker will go to Docker Hub, search for Ubuntu/web server version 1, and it will not see it over there. Why? This image is created by Zubair in his local environment, which is available only for his laptop.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay? This is the local image. Okay?
Okay.
So That's first thing that you need to understand. The second thing is you can actually share these images with one another. Okay? There is, if you just hit Docker, there are few of commands over here. Okay?
Yeah.
Where did it go? Okay. Here there is something called as Docker pull and Docker push.
Okay.
Okay? To do this, you need to have a username and password to Docker Hub. Okay? Okay? To pull, everybody can pull. To push, you need to have a username and password. Okay? If Zubair wants to share this image, okay, to Raghav or Rakesh, he will sign up over there and do a Docker push to that particular, to the Docker Hub, where not just Rakesh or Raghav, anybody, if they know this tag, they can download it.
Okay.
Okay? So that is one thing. There is also something called Docker share, I believe. Yeah, it's not share, but it is export. Okay?
Yeah.
For example, there is Docker PS. If you want to do Docker export, you can do web server 3. Web server 3.tar.gz. Sorry, I need to disconnect that, and it's tar.gz. Echo the exit status. ls. There is a file web server 2.tar.gz. Okay, you can share this file to Raghav or Rakesh, and they will use a command that's called docker import. Let me scroll down. Docker load. Okay.
Yeah.
Docker load is the command. Simply docker load and that file. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Very interesting and important thing is when you do a Docker info, it gives you the details of what all are there in Docker. Okay.
Okay.
And another one, like these details you would need when you're trying to troubleshoot. Okay. Docker version. Here, a very important thing I want you to look at is Go version. Okay.
Okay.
Go is a language which is being developed by Google. Okay.
Okay.
Most of the Docker related things are written in this Go language. So if you can find any tutorials in Google, that would be great for Go. Just learn some basics about it.
Sure.
It gives you all these details. Okay. Another important thing that I want to see is I want to know some details about the containers that are running. So there is a command called, at any point of time, if you don't remember any command, just do a docker and hit enter, you'll get all the list of commands.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So there is one command that's called docker inspect. Okay. If you hit enter, it will ask you, I need more options. Okay. So what you will do is docker inspect. We have a web server 3. I'll hit enter now. You give the container name. So what this does is, okay, it's going to give you the output in a JSON format, JSON file format.
Okay.
See, the ID, when was it created, what is it running, what is the current status, okay, what is the process ID in the local machine, okay, from which image did it boot from, okay,
Yeah.
where did it go? So you will see all these details, okay, 80 port, okay, where is it being forwarded, okay, you will see volumes, you will see mounts, where it is mounted, what it is doing, okay, and image is Ubuntu web server version 1, right, and you will also see some IP addresses, Docker internal IP addresses and things like that. Okay.
Okay.
What is this IP addresses? Basically, for your Vagrant machine, there were 2 IP addresses. One was public or one was private, right?
Yeah.
For public, we got the IP address from your router. Regularly, what your laptop is getting, what your mobile is getting IP address, that range IP address we have defined, right? Which is 192.168. some series, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, if you do a private IP address, okay, Docker inbuilt, since we have come over here, yes. Okay, there is a bridge adapter, okay, which actually gives some internal Docker specific internal IP address. These are again private IP addresses, okay, so it gives an IP address, okay. So we've looked at Docker inspect also, okay.
Yeah.
If you do Docker, what else is there? You can do Docker search images. So for example, Docker search CentOS 6. So what it will do is it will go to Docker Hub, okay, and it will search and it will give you an output over here. Name, description, number of stars, official, is it automated, okay. I have told you about Docker pull and all of those things, right?
Yeah.
So for example, if I want to add this image rather than doing a Docker run, okay, what I'll do is Docker pull and hit this enter, okay. So it will download that image from Docker Hub to local container, okay.
Yeah.
Let it finish. Okay. Now you do a Docker images. You will see that CentOS machine available over there. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you remember previously, Docker remove, we could actually remove all the images. Oh, sorry, containers. Right? We might even want to remove certain images. Right? So in order to remove images, you just had -I there. Paste it. You hit enter.
Remove.
It will remove the image. If you do Docker images now, that image is gone.
Yeah.
Okay. We looked at removing containers and also removing images if necessary.
Yeah.
Stats. If you want to see statistics, Docker stats web server 3. It will give you all the details, memory usage, how much it is using, how much is the maximum limit, okay, network input and output, if any information is being returned to the disk, block input and output. Right?
Yep.
That is some command again. Ports we have done, PS we have done, pull, push I've told you. If you want to rename a container, okay, if you want to restart a container, remove -I, run command we have seen. Save is something same as export, okay, search, start, stats, stop, okay. Tag is like we have given version 1, right? So
Yeah.
if we want to tag something like that, you can tag it. Stop. You can even stop, pause containers or something like that. Okay. Docker attach or Docker exec are the same similar commands. Okay. Okay. So there is one more topic remaining, which is building the Docker file. Okay. Let's fix that day itself rather than carrying it forward for tomorrow. Let's finish it today. So for example, make there Docker. So I'm going into Docker. What was the file for Vagrant?
Vagrant, which one?
What was the basic configuration file? Sorry?
CentOS 7. VM.
No, what was the configuration file for Vagrant?
Configuration.
The file where we edited the port forwards, volumes, names, and all of those things.
It's vagrant.d. Oh, those.
It was Vagrant file.
Yeah, Vagrant. In the folder of the CentOS.
Yeah.
Those.
The file. Right?
Yeah.
So something similar you have a Docker file.
Okay.
So if you do ls, there is nothing inside. So I'm going to create a file which is Docker file. So now if I open Docker file, over here we will start writing some code based on Go language. Right?
Okay.
So there are few syntaxes, very easy syntaxes to do this. Okay. What is it? I'm just thinking. Give me a quick second, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm back. Okay, so the first,
Yeah, now okay. Now we can hear you properly.
okay. So the first line, we already have the Ubuntu image in our machine, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So using that, okay, whatever web server that we have created previously, we will do that same from a new image, okay? anything that starts with a hash is a command, is a comment. Okay. Get update. Okay. Install Apache 2. Run apt-get -y install Apache 2. Update .bash rc file, right? One echo service Apache 2 start into /root /.bash rc. Okay.
Yeah.
To do another thing was expose port 80, right? So looking at the commands, okay, what all we did manual steps there, right?
Yeah.
We actually have included all of them in a single file.
Yeah.
Okay. And we are creating this. Okay. Where www.html /index.html. Right? Any other steps from Ubuntu machine? Update apt-get install Apache 2 echo service. Do this thing, right?
Yeah.
You can even do, if you want, just in case. You don't have to add another one. We'll try with this. Apache 2 start bash rc. So. Okay. Now I'm writing in, saving this file. So if you want to look at the file, this is how the file looks like. Okay. There are other options for the same. Okay, but I can I'll redirect you over to there so that you can fetch much of that information. Okay, I'm giving you a very basic example over here. Okay.
Yeah.
Now what we do is we do a docker build command. That is one of the option commands that we have seen under Docker build, right?
Yeah.
Over here, when you're actually using hyphen T over here under build, in Docker run, it was actually hyphen T was a terminal, right? Over here, it is a different. It means tag. Okay.
Okay.
Why is it not typing? I'm typing Ubuntu / Apache 2 new dot is in the current working directory. What it means, like when I put a dot over here, it will search for a Docker file over there. Okay. I'm hitting enter. As you can see, it is updating all that information. See, apt-get is automatically running. It's updating the apt-get, if you see over there. Okay.
Yeah.
We can actually redirect the output into null so that you will not see this output on the screen, but I purposefully did not do that so that you can see what Docker is doing on the background when it is actually trying to build it. Okay. So now it is installing Apache 2.
Yeah.
All the suggested packages it is bringing up. It is doing all the setup. Okay, I do a echo. This one, it ran successfully. That's the reason you have 0 as output or 0 as exit code. So if you do Docker images, now you see Ubuntu Apache 2 new.
Yeah.
Right? So now I will do a Docker run -tid. Okay, hyphen port number, I will do it on 8002. Okay,
Yeah.
to port number 80, and I will use Ubuntu /Apache 2 :new, and I will run bin.bash. The reason why I'm running a bin bash is only when I trigger the bash, bin bash, the file .bash rc will be executed in the background.
Okay.
Okay, that's the reason I'm doing. That file has what command? Apache 2 start command.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I hit enter. You do a Docker PS now, it has started successfully. Okay. In total, there are 3 containers that are running right now.
Yeah.
I didn't give a name, sorry for that. Trusty Hawking. Okay.
Yeah.
So if I go into the browser, I'll take this one, paste it, 8002. Okay, interesting. It came up, but it did not give us the welcome to Docker option over there, interestingly. Okay. Anyhow,
Yeah.
you understand the concept, right?
Yeah.
Initially, I started off showing you simple Docker images, log into them, install everything, commit changes, and all of those things, right? Towards the end of it, what we actually are doing is we are only managing Docker files. Okay? Okay? When you go to work, okay, you would be doing the regular stuff which I've been showing you, but majorly you would even be looking at Docker file, how to write a Docker file. See, for example, it is all about automation, right? If you remember, when I first created the first web server 1, I first downloaded Ubuntu image, logged into it, updated, installed, uh, uh, committed, and everything, right?
Yeah.
That's all manual steps. Rather than doing all that manual steps, you simply start writing Docker files, okay?
Okay.
Over here you can give any available image. In our local repository, for example, if I give some other name, it will first search if it is available locally or not. If it is not available, it will straight away go to Docker Hub and download it. So basically I don't even need to do a Docker pull or Docker add or anything like that. By simply writing few lines of code, I'm bringing up a container, updating the repository, installing the package, starting the web server, and everything.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Makes sense? So that's the level of automation we will get into. All of this thing, how much time did it take? Less than 5 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right? So this is something about Docker. There are other very advanced concepts about Docker. I will direct you to the location where you can find them. Okay? You can read and practice from there. So this is the location. So there are so many things over here that you can read, start. Okay?
Okay.
Post this training, at least practice the basics which I've told you during this training. Post this training, spend time to understand all of this stuff on the left side. I myself do not know complete all of those stuffs. Okay, I know Docker Hub, Docker Compose, Docker Swarm, all of these things. Okay, the few other things, so many things have been added recently. To be very frank, when I learned Docker, this universal control panel was not there, Docker Cloud was not there. Okay, few of them were not there. I don't remember what they added also.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So go through this thing. The reason is Docker is being adopted by wide number of companies, and companies like Amazon, Red Hat, they're providing their own Docker containers.
Okay.
Okay? So this is the location where you can learn. Alright? I will share all the Docker notes I have. I believe you did not receive any of the notes as of now. So whatever dump I have from previous batches for Vagrant and Docker, I'm going to send them all together right away after this class. So you would receive this thing. So rest of everything you can just, if you have any doubts, you can just do a command that's called as history, and you can see all the commands that we have performed.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
and you can just go through the stuff. Okay.
Sure. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully early by tomorrow. I mean, according to IST time,
Okay.
Yeah.
you will receive both Vagrant and Docker nodes. It might not be in the sequence that I've explained you, but most of the commands, you might even find something more also in that. Okay.
Okay.
All the commands step by step, you have everything over there. So the training institute guys might not be awake at this point of time. I'll forward them. So the first thing in the morning, they're going to forward it for you.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any questions before we close?
No, actually, now it's working good for me for both machines. So what is the reason for that error?
Basically, I believe the issue is with the CentOS 7 machine, because today also at work when I actually tried to do it, I got some errors for something else. So we picked up another image that was available in our local repository, and we worked on it. So I think the CentOS 7 machine image has that problem, I believe.
Okay. Actually, for me, the Ubuntu Precise 32 also got the same error from past 2 days.
Okay.
It's working good.
Okay.
So, is there any problem with my PC or something?
No. You just have to, Google about it. Try to start. First thing, whenever you've run into issues, I would suggest start reading blogs, just copy paste the error message, and you will find some or the other link, somebody talking about it.
Yeah, I have tried everything, but I couldn't find result for those ones.
Okay. What is your laptop make? Is that a Dell, HP, Lenovo?
It's Lenovo with AMD processor. AI.
I don't think you should have any issues, because mine is also a Lenovo laptop.
Okay.
Mine is AMD A6 processor. It's a 8 gigs RAM. I I actually initially faced some problem when I moved into this laptop from my Dell laptop like 6 months back. I had the problem, but somehow I don't know. I don't remember what I did. I figured it out and fixed, and ever since then I don't have any issues actually.
Okay.
I think what we can do is, for your practice, you can have this Vagrant machine. This Vagrant machine, CentOS 7, which is running on Zubair's laptop. Okay,
Okay.
you can connect to that same machine. Both of you can work at the same time. Linux will allow you to connect to the same machine at the same time as different users or same users, whichever it is. You want to try that? Just open a PuTTY session. Use 192.168.144.
Just 192.168. 144.
Mm.
Okay. Yes. I should log in as Vagrant.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. Vagrant localhost.
Sorry, what was that?
It says last login Tuesday. It's working, I think.
Yeah. So you can make use of anybody's Vagrant instances, because they are on your internal home network, right?
Mm.
So you can make use of any of those things actually.
Okay.
Right? So tomorrow we will start a new topic. Okay, I'll share the notes and let's get in touch again. Practice your regulars, the stuff that you've been learning. And if you have any questions, we can see it tomorrow.
Sure. Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you for your time. You have a good day ahead. Bye now.